There is a moment that every cat owner has witnessed. The room is silent. Nothing moves. Then, without warning, the cat freezes. Its ears pivot toward a sound no human noticed. Its pupils widen. Every muscle locks into place with absolute precision, as though an invisible switch has been thrown somewhere deep inside its nervous system. For a few seconds, the living room disappears. So does the couch. So does civilization itself. What remains is a predator listening to the world exactly as its ancestors once did beneath an open sky. Most people mistake this for instinct. It is something even older. It is memory, not conscious memory, but evolutionary memory, written not in thoughts, but in biology. Unlike human history, which survives in books and monuments, evolution preserves its stories inside bodies. Every reflex, every behavior, every hesitation that increased the odds of survival is quietly carried forward, generation after generation, until it becomes so familiar that we stop noticing it. The cat does not remember the first villages, its body does. That distinction changes everything. For centuries, people believed domestication erased wildness. The longer an animal lived beside humans, the more its original nature was expected to fade. Cats refused that expectation. Researchers studying feline behavior repeatedly found something remarkable. Even animals raised entirely indoors, never exposed to hunting, often display the same sequence of stalking, pouncing, biting, and carrying prey observed in their wild relatives. Remove the environment and the pattern remains. The script survives the stage. This is one of evolution's quietest miracles. Behavior can outlive the world that created it. A kitten chasing the flicker of a shadow across the floor is practicing movements perfected over millions of years by ancestors it will never know. The game feels harmless to us. To evolution, it is rehearsal. And hidden within that rehearsal lies a profound truth about survival itself. Natural selection is astonishingly conservative. It rarely abandons solutions that continue to work. If a behavior has repeatedly preserved life across countless generations, it becomes deeply embedded, surviving long after the original circumstances have changed. Human civilization transformed the landscape. It did not rewrite the cat. Perhaps that is why cats often seem to exist slightly outside the rhythm of human society. Dogs frequently look toward us for instruction. Horses synchronize with our movements. Livestock depend upon our management. Cats acknowledge us. They do not revolve around us. That independence is not indifference. It is an inheritance from ancestors that survived by making their own decisions, long before human voices became part of their environment. In many ways, the domestic cat remains psychologically closer to a wild predator than almost any other animal sharing our homes. And perhaps that explains an uncomfortable feeling many people experience without ever naming it. Sometimes, when a cat holds your gaze in complete silence, it does not feel like looking at something domesticated. It feels like looking at something ancient, something evaluating the world through senses shaped by millions of years that had nothing to do with us. The relationship suddenly feels less like ownership and more like coexistence. That realization forces a subtle reversal of perspective. We often speak as though humanity brought cats into civilization. The evidence suggests something far less human-centered. Cats entered an ecological opportunity we unintentionally created, preserved nearly everything that had already made them successful, and continued their evolutionary journey while allowing us to believe we were directing it. Perhaps domestication was never a story of mastery. Perhaps it was a negotiation. One species offered shelter without fully intending to. The other offered pest control without making a promise. No contract was signed. No agreement was spoken. Yet the partnership endured for 10,000 years, because neither side demanded the other become something it was not. That may be the deepest lesson hidden inside the DNA of every modern cat. Evolution does not always reward the creature that changes the most. Sometimes it favors the one that knows exactly what must never change. And somewhere beneath the quiet confidence of every sleeping house cat, beneath every slow blink, every silent step, every effortless leap, the shadow of one improbable ancestor still remains. Not as a relic of the past, but as a living reminder that history is never truly gone. It simply learns how to breathe through those who survive. Like and subscribe. See you in the next.